Greetings, family. Sister Shanice in the house for another Wednesday live. Ujama Day. Welcome to the Sister Shanice Show channel. As always, it is a privilege and it is an honor to be able to come before you on a Wednesday. I want to thank you so much in advance for joining us today. As always, we have a fantastic, blacktastic show lined up for you today. It's going to be a great one, as always. We've got a very interesting topic of conversation that we're going to be bringing to you today. So please spread the word, let the family know that we are live. Thank you. Okay, let me grab that link so that I can share it with our family, because with Zoom, I'm unable to put the link out in advance, but delighted that I'm able to do it this way. So family, as you come through the door, please do hail us up. It's going to be a great show. Let me start posting a link to everybody so that I can get you all in the house. Welcome. How has your strong been? Some say weak, some say strong. As you know, we say strong around here. How has it been? Certainly hope it's been a good one for you. Mine's been really exciting, really interesting, I must say. So many events that are happening at the moment, and it's just great to be able to get out and meet with members of the community. So let me get on my phone and start posting that link. I think it'd probably be quicker doing it on my phone than trying to do it via my laptop, which I think is just too jam packed with information, hence why it's always so slow. So yeah, we share it with family members and friends when you get it, because I want as many of you as possible to come through the door as we have our conversation today about reparations. Should we during these times be striving for reparations? What are your views? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions on that? It's a very divided topic. And our guest today is going to be explaining to us, why reparations is important, okay? And yeah, I want to hear your views as well. You can share your views and comments in the chat. Use the live chat for your questions, for your comments, for your thoughts, for your statements. We want to hear, your thinking. And what I do is I actually do the show as well. So looking forward and always welcoming to hear what it is you have to say, because this is an important platform. This platform allows us as Africans to come together as a community, as a global community from around the world, to have the debates and the conversations about issues that are impacting on us as a family. There aren't many platforms like this. And so we do value, the fact that today we're actually able to use this media to communicate with family members and friends. And so let's make the most of it while it's available to us, because you know what it's like. You know how the powers that be actually stay when they see that we're getting, too progressive using particular platforms. They do what they can to try and undermine, sabotage, remove it, our access to it, just to try and destabilize and to undermine our efforts. And so let's do the best we can to make good use of this platform, okay, while it is available to us. So welcome. I can see some of our family members coming through the door. Tuka Pamoja is in the house. Welcome, saying greetings. And Ace 99 is in the house. Fire, good to have you in the house. As you can see, our special guest for today, Nana Prophet Muduty, is in the house as well. Also, rise up. Take yourself off mute anytime you're ready. And we've got Sheknet in the house. Welcome, rising us up. He said it's always great to see you in person. Oh, Sheknet, have we met in person? Oh, yeah, I've been to a couple of events over the last couple of strongs. I went to our brother Emmanuel's event that he organized. It was a tribute event to celebrate the life's work of Dr. Leila Africa. That was a brilliant event. I met numerous members of the community there, one-on-one, which was fantastic. And then on Saturday, I was at the Saturday School Sports and Cultural event. And it was a great event. All the young people were there from the various Saturday schools in the UK, London in particular, and it was a wonderful community day. I was broadcasting live from the event to our audience, the Galaxy Afiri.net audience. That was great. And I was also in possession of my book. So a number of you actually bought my book from me. And I hope that you've been reading it and already starting to, find my research interesting. So I look forward, within the next kind of few strongs or the next month or so to start hearing from those of you who have actually started reading my book. And, in a couple of months' time or so, I'll probably do a series of seminars and workshops for those of you who have the book. I'll produce some workbooks to go with it. And, we'll be working our way through as a family, and we'll be building a research community, because the more of us that there are out there actually doing the research, the better. In the book, I quote all my sources, and so you can go and check the sources for yourself. And, when you check the sources and spin off and start doing your own research, you're going to start uncovering even more information that maybe I have yet to come across. And so, in these seminars and work group sessions, we can begin to just share the knowledge that we are finding. And I'd also love to encourage more of you to write as well. Okay, so I've posted the link to quite a few of our family members. So our family should be coming through the door very, very soon. And I'm excited and looking forward to the conversation that we're going to be having today. Right, let me get YouTube on my phone so that I can start to see who we've got coming in the house. Welcome, welcome, family. Welcome. It is Wednesday. It's going to be a great and interesting conversation. Okay, just a couple of announcements. Yes, here we are. Yes, I've got Shekmet in the house. He said, Pan-African Sports and Culture Day. Give thanks for your support on the day, my sister. Wow, wow, wow. Shekmet, why didn't you tell me? When we I'm sure we spoke. Ah, Sister Shares. Oh, rise up, Sister Shares. More love. Sister Shares is a beautiful, beautiful member of our community. So active. She was instrumental in organizing and facilitating the Sports Day event, the Pan-African Sports and Culture Day event. And what a magnificent, fantastic, blacktastic fun day it was. Rise up, Sister Shares. More love, more strength, and more voodoo power to you. Rise up. We got Queen Mother International in the house as well. It's good to have you in the house. Tukuk Pamoja, great to have you in the house as well. So our family's starting to come through the door. Now, let me do a few announcements as the family starts coming through the door. First of all, very, very importantly, I want to let you know that we do now actually have our petition in support of the Maasai community. You may remember it was about 3 strongs ago, we had a session where we were focusing on the issue that's impacting on the Maasai community in Tanzania. And you all said that you wanted me to do a petition. And I've got together with an organization called GAC UK, Global African Congress, and I want to celebrate them. I want to thank them for responding to the call that I put out there for an organization to get involved and to take this petition forward. They responded to the call, and they actually provided me with a team who have been assisting and helping us to get this petition through their approval processes and up on change.org. So I'm delighted to let you know that the petition, let me find the link so that I can actually post it in the chat. I'm delighted to inform you that the petition is now live. And I'm going to post the link, and I'd like each and every one of you to please sign the petition and share. But please remember, very importantly, after you sign the petition, you must go to your emails and verify your email address. If you don't verify your email address, then your vote or your support will not be counted, okay? So I've just posted the petition link in the chat. Please do share it. It's really important. You all know, if you were in tune to that show, you are very, very aware of the situation facing the Maasai community. And in a nutshell, for those of you who maybe missed that show, you can go and get that show from my past live streams. But we learned that the president of Tanzania is selling off or giving away 1,500 square kilometers of Maasai land to some investors, private investors, particularly from the UAE, who want to use the land, they say, as a game park so that they can kill our precious animals. And they also said that they want to use it for tourism. Why don't they use their own country for tourism? Why don't they, use, you know what, family? This is so concerning. This piece of land is almost the size of Greater London. Greater London has about 9 million people on the size of land that the Maasai people are being deprived of. And it's so dangerous, isn't it? We were talking about the danger of actually allowing foreign nationals to take up residency on your land. We just need to look and see what's going on in Gaza right now to be aware of the dangers. And the UAE work very closely with Israel. They've got business relationships with them. And so, this is deeply concerning indeed. So we've got a petition. We're going to be standing with the Maasai people. And we've already agreed that, we should do the petition and support them. So I need every single one of you to please sign and also to share the petition so that other people will sign it as well. Let me bring up the petition so that you can see. My laptop's really slow as it is, but let's see if we can do this and make it come up. Right, so I'm going to go to Zoom again. Right, I'm just going to get the petition to come up so that you can see what it looks like. But I've posted the link in the chat. I just need you, family, to, do your best to share the petition link so that our family members can see it. And we need to get, I reckon at least 10,000 signatures, okay? At least 10,000 signatures is needed so that it can get the attention that it needs to get in order for us to be able to get that taken seriously. Right, let me see if I can get behind everything that I've got on here. Yeah, to get my presenter's view up. And then it will come up. So just bringing up, I know you can see a little bit of it at the moment, and I know it looks a bit disjointed, but as soon as I get this thing together, you'll be able to see it properly. So it's coming, it's coming. I've got too much work, too much on this computer. I think that's why it all just takes so long. But eventually we will get there. So we're calling on everybody to stand with the Maasai people. Here we are. Please do stand with the Maasai people. This is what the front of the petition looks like at the moment. We'll keep updating it and put different images just so that we can keep people interested. Alrighty. I've posted the link. Please sign the petition and share. It's on change.org. Once you've signed the petition, it'll ask you for your email address. You do need to go to your email and verify your email for your vote or for your support to be counted. So please make sure you verify your email. When we looked at it today, because we launched it yesterday, and when we looked at it today, we had over 100 people who'd actually signed the petition, and we're thankful to every single one of you who signed. But over 1,200 of you had actually viewed it. And I'm absolutely convinced that many, many more of you who viewed it also signed it, but maybe have not verified your email address. So please do, so that we can get those signatures up. Okay. So great news. And to those of you who were involved in that particular show and said, come on, we need to do something. Let's get that petition out as a starting point. It has been done. Also, just want to remind you of a few of my books we've got for you to check out. There is The Remarkable Accomplishments of Asian African Civilization. That's a really great handy book to have in your hand. It's packed with a wealth of knowledge and information about our former greatness as Africans. It will tell you about our various achievements and accomplishments. It will tell you, that we were the inventors of mathematics and the Shango bone and how old that was. It will tell you about, our ancestors who were studying astronomy and the stars. It will tell you about the ancient miners. It will tell you about the writing systems that we invented, the alphabet that we invented, the papyrus, the paper, medical procedures. There's so much packed into that book. It will make you realize that we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Also, you can get my book, The Black King of Anglo-Saxon Mercia, King Offa. Yes, indeed, King Offa. In that book, we actually explore the depths to which, we have a history in Britain. And I take you on his captivating story that remains concealed really to a large extent until today. But we are uncovering the fact, as I said, that we have a heritage in Britain, and that book exposes to you the era that one of our Black kings, one of probably thousands of Black kings, because back in the days, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales was divided up into kingdoms, and every kingdom had its king that, ruled over that domain. And so, they practiced the procedure of handing down the kingship to their next of kin. And this went on for, thousands of years. And so over the time, there would have been thousands of kings. But even during the time of King Offa, you will see, that our ancestors were highly civilized indeed. We had our sciences, our metallurgy, our agriculture. We had great masonry works going on. Again, there was the written script that was documenting everything was happening. Navigation was at its height as well. The seas was our highways. We were sailing the seas. And royalty, it was the royals that actually ran the nations. And so we have a rich and a hidden history that's revealed in that book. And also, I did that tribute book to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, which you can get free of charge on Gumroad, or you can go to Patreon and pay a little something, make a little donation for it if you want. Okay. If you want more information about any of those books, you can go on my YouTube channel where I've actually talked about them in the past, and you can get more of an insight into those books. Also, as you know, I am delighted to let you know that my most recent book, Hidden in the Shadows of Ancient Britain, An Erased African History Restored, that book is now out. You can email me at shanicebooks55@gmail.com if you are in the UK, and I will send you a signed copy. You pay, and then I post you a signed copy, okay? This is a compelling book that is going to totally change your outlook, family, on Black British history. When I tell you that we have a phenomenal history that spans thousands of years here in Britain, you're going to be like, what? So like, yeah, that's been hidden. And I've revealed a lot of it in this book. So do get a copy of that book, okay? It's going to enlighten you considerably. And as I said, it's going to be an awakening moment for you after reading that book. Also, just to remind those of you that tuned in last strong about the show that I did that was talking about these flesh-eating zombie drugs that are being targeted at our community in the USA and in Africa. We learned that these drugs are actually gripping our young people in Sierra Leone, in Ghana, in Gambia, and in the USA, in the inner cities in the USA, and a couple of other African countries. And I even highlighted a documentary that sourced the origins of this drug back to Britain. And these drugs are lethal. They're causing death. They're causing people to just be out of their mind. And I was like, you know, highlighting the similarities in the timing of these new drugs coming into the African continent at a time when our young people are rising up. And when we look back to the 80s in America, we saw the Black Panther movement and the Black consciousness levels increasing across our communities. And what did they do? They flooded our communities with crack cocaine. And then we went from, you know, Black power to a situation where our families were destroyed, our men were criminalized, where there was high levels of incarceration. So last strong, the message was a public safety warning that these drugs are lethal. Talk to the young people about them. Don't even let them try these drugs. You know, back in my days, you could try, you know, a bit of weed or whatever, you know, and it wouldn't do you any harm. But these drugs are like 50 times more lethal than heroin. And we all know how addictive and how lethal heroin is. So these drugs have been specifically made toxic and dangerous for our community. So keep our young people away from it, please, please, please. Also remember that you can get a copy of the Charter of Imperialism. You know, we need to know the games that these people are playing behind the scenes. There's a shadow, there are higher powers than the government that actually run our governments and run the world. And they play by a totally different set of rules. And the rules are in a document called Charter of Imperialism. And I've put it together as a flip book, as a PDF, and I've put it together in chapters even on my Patreon. So go to my Patreon, www.patreon.com, search for Sista Shanice, and you can get your free copy there, or you can make a donation if you want. Really, really important. A couple of other announcements that we've got. And I've got my guest behind the scene. Hopefully he will jump on and tell us a bit about this public meeting that is coming up on Saturday. So if you are in London, we need to see you this coming Saturday at Windrush Square. It's an open public meeting. We want to hear your voice. We need your energy. We need your input, okay? This public meeting is to talk specifically about reparations and the reparations march that's coming up. So the African Reparations Day March Council is having their outdoor meeting. There's going to be a sound system there as well, so I hope you can talk loud on top of the sound system. This coming Saturday, the 19th of July, from 12 p.m. in the afternoon through to 8 p.m. in the evening, okay? Windrush Square, Pioneer Square, in the heart of Brixton. You've got Brixton Tube Station and 101 buses that will bring you directly into the heart of Brixton. So please, please, please find your way to Brixton and join us for that public meeting. Join the African Reparations Day March Council Committee. Join GalaxyAfiwi.net pilots. Join the Cobra Sound and SG Vibes and the family that's going to be there this coming Saturday, the 19th of July. Okay, it's an opportunity for you to get involved in the organizing, the planning, and to get into the know of what's happening on Reparations Day, and also for you to have your say. All right. Reparations Day is the 1st of Maasai. The day is coming. The day is coming very, very quickly. So date for your diary, date for your diary. African Reparations Day, the 1st of Maasai. For those of you that don't know, Maasai is August. August month is Maasai month. Who's Maasai? Marcus Maasai Garvey. We dedicate the whole month to Marcus Garvey. I want to rise up the Al-Qaeda revivalist movement, you know, for their energies behind this in you know, leading the community to dedicate Maasai month to Marcus Garvey. Doesn't he deserve his own month? So please, please put that date in your diary, 1st of Maasai. You know, we want thousands of us to gather on that day. And after the gathering, we march or we walk to Parliament Square. We have a rally at Parliament Square. And then if you can make it, we walk back to Brixton. But I tell you what, it's such a fun and wonderful experience doing that walk. You don't even realize how far you've walked and how much walking you've done. Yeah, so walk with your community, with our community, in the spirit of oneness, in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of Garvey, yeah, in the spirit of our ancestors. Walk with us on that day. I want to rise up Sheknek and Prophet Muduty and everybody, Brother I Am, and the entire team members who are involved in helping to organize the 1st of Maasai. Also, if you're in London, one more date for your diary. Somochagwan family, 20th of July. On the 20th of July, we have an event in tribute to our legendary brother Dougie. It's a free event, kicks off at 2 p.m. in the afternoon through to 8 p.m. And it's going to be at the Chestnut Community Centre. And that is at 280 St Anne's Road in Tottenham, N155BN. You know, if you didn't catch any of these dates, you can just rewind this show, and you can, you know, stop it, freeze it, get the dates, get the details, get the information. You can screenshot the flyers and you can share, and we thank you so much in advance. So those are some of the notices that I wanted to put out there. And if you've just joined, welcome. One of the really important notices that I want you to make sure you've got a note of is the fact that our petition is now out there. Yeah, so please do sign the petition and please do share. It's on change.org, and I've already posted the petition link in the chat. Okay, so please make sure that you grab that. Sheriff S says, I wish I knew about this before. I have a prior engagement and we'll be going live too. Oh, such a shame. She said, I will definitely be there on the 1st of August. Make sure you introduce yourself to me, Sheriff S. I would absolutely love to meet you. And you say, rise up in power, Brother Dougie. Ashe. We got Swarthbury in the house as well, saying shalom, fam. Welcome. Tuko Pamoja says absolutely utter madness. Such a rich cultural artifact that the awful woman wants to sign away. Sometimes I think someone needs to be admitted to an asylum. Absolutely agree, you know, and I think she must be talking about the president of Tanzania. You know, absolute madness. Our beautiful, culturally rich Maasai people, and they want to move them out of their ancestral land. Yes, the petition can be signed online. It is an online petition. So yes, I posted the link earlier. Let me know if I need to post it again. In fact, let me just post it again right now. so that those of you who have just joined, you don't need to scroll up too much to get the link. There is the link in the chat. Okay, right. Let me just stop that screen share because it is time to bring on our guest for today, none other than Prophet Muduty. Rise up, Prophet. Please come forward and introduce yourself to our wonderful audience. Welcome, welcome. Greetings, beloved. How are you doing?
Yes. Yem mapa ote itepenekeje a senebe. Mudubafu owo baba etia eyaya. We give thanks unto that which is greater than ourselves. Was many names over the Mari Nkulu. Wame blafashe Mungu oniyeme umadam for Mari Chembe Amaja Amanra Ashe. Ashe.
Asheo. Welcome, Nana Prophet. We are delighted to have you in the house. I know you're not new to this platform. Those of you in the audience who have been with us on our journey over the many years will surely remember our Prophet Muduty from those early days. Prophet, however, we may well have some new members. Please introduce yourself to our family.
Well, I give thanks to be here. I'm just an ordinary member of our community who strive to do good for our community. Was an activist for many years. Over the last 3 decades, I've been involved in various organizations. Main organization I'm a part of is Nuba African Community Foundation School that was born out of Association of Pan-African Studies and Initiatives. But I'm also a member of Galaxy affiliate.net. I'm also a member of the Pan-African Sports and Culture Day, you know, and a member of the African Reparations Day Council, as well as an activist within our community. And I'll just leave it at that.
A phenomenal worker within our community. Thank you so much for your dedication, your commitment, and your hard work. I mentioned when I was doing the notices that there is a public meeting that's coming up. It's a public meeting where we're being called to action. And this meeting is happening on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 19th of July. Tell us why this meeting is important and why family in the UK should try and attend this meeting.
Well, it's in preparation for the first of Maasai, you know, the annual African Reparations Day march and gathering. And it's just to inform the public of how the day is going to go. You know, I've tried to recruit people to be first aiders, stewards, you know, and that type of stuff, just to get a feel of how the day would go.
Mm-hmm.
And just inform the people, you know, the importance of attending this event, which is an annual event that's been going since 2014. You know, it hasn't been smooth sailing all the time. However, we've done our best to keep it going. You know, and we give thanks unto all of those that partook in the last, you know, 11 years of organizing the event. So it's an important day. You know, it's sometimes, you know, Sister Shanice, it gets frustrating to tell your people how important it is to attend something that addresses their needs. You understand? And I think one of the problems in our community is that we want things immediately, and we're very ungrateful. We're very ungrateful for the sacrifices that others have made to make our life slightly easier than their life was. Many of the things that we benefit from today, many of the liberties that we benefit from today, many people went to jail, many people died so we could enjoy those liberties. They did not enjoy them liberties themselves. And it's almost as if we live in a time when we think we're privileged. This should be this way, you know? And, over years of doing this thing, I would classify myself as young in the liberation movement, a child even. I didn't start actively engaging in Pan-Africanist work until I was around about 28. I was a young man then in comparison to what I am now. But, I didn't start until around about that time. You understand? And I still was doing other things, so over the years you mature in what you're doing and you get more active, more involved, more dedicated. You understand? But it's frustrating to see how ignorant our people is of their own story. They don't even know their own parents' story. How about that? They don't even know their own parents' story. Yeah? That's how bad it is.
So
They don't even know their own parents' story.
if you're fortunate enough to have your parents with you, family, I want you to write down at least 100 questions to ask them and sit at their feet and let them tell you those stories. Capture the stories on video, on camera. This is history in the making, and you're right. Sometimes many of us, we take our parents and our grandparents for granted. And it's only when them gone, we say, boy, I should have asked them this, I should have asked them that. I never asked them this and I never asked them that. So I absolutely agree with you. It's important to get to know those stories.
And one of the things that is damning, my sister, a lot of us don't realize, that when our parents come at this country, Britain, they were young people. They were young. They were 19, 18, some of them were 16, 20. Very few of them came here in their 30s and 40s. Very few of them. Most of them came here when they were young. And they were invited here. They were invited here by the government of the time. Enoch Powell and all them, man, after the European, them bomb each other to smithereens. Britain needed rebuilding. They went to the Afrobean and asked Africans, them in the Afrobean, to come and help out the so-called motherland. You understand me? So, this is part of what reparations is. Reparations isn't just about what happened to us in enslavement, because it's a big part of it. But it's what continued to happen after the so-called 1833 emancipation. That didn't actually happen until 1838. Because the Africans had to work an extra 5 years of apprenticeship to pay off the slave masters. You understand what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of things that,
So much. And we're going to be touching on all of those things in our conversation today. So family, thank you so much for joining us. My special guest is in the house. We're ready to go into the conversation now. It's going to be a powerful conversation about one of the most pressing issues of our time, reparations. As demands for reparations grow, and it's getting louder across the African diaspora as well as on the continent itself. The governments can no longer ignore the call, we're saying, to repair for the centuries of enslavement, exploitation, and colonial theft. Okay, so we're going to be having this conversation and we're going to be challenging the narrative as well. And we want to hear your views, your thoughts, and your opinions, family. Those of you who are in the chat, so make sure that you post your thoughts and comments. Okay, now on the one hand, in the UK, for example, we've got people like the Conservative Prime Minister Kemi Badenoch, who when she was the Minister for Economic Issues, she attended a city conference and she claimed that the UK's wealth isn't from white privilege and colonialism. And she claims that, the richest people and the corporations do not owe their fortunes to slavery. And so, she's one of many MPs, and well, now she's actually the Prime Minister, who feels that,
No, she's not the Prime Minister,
Britain,
Sister Shanice.
sorry,
She's the leader of the opposition.
Leader of the opposition, thank you so much. I stand corrected. Yeah, leader of the opposition now. And she's claiming that, it wasn't white privilege and it wasn't slavery that led to the prosperity of Britain. And that, basically saying that the UK's past of exploitation and oppression, could be explained away. And she actually went on to say that it worried her when people talked about the wealth and success of the UK being down to colonialism or imperialism or white privilege. So on the one hand, we've got ones like her in very powerful and influential positions, especially being a woman of color, who's saying that, in other words, reparations isn't such an issue, and that she genuinely believes that the UK, actually developed into becoming an advanced economy, because of its own skills and productivity. And then on the other hand, of course, we've got the argument that most of us are standing with, where we're extremely concerned about the role that Britain has played in the so-called transatlantic kidnappings, relocation, and enslavement of people. And, we're saying that Britain had an extensive role to play in that illegal trade and was significantly enriched by it. And that even today, there's an entire capitalist class of people who made so much money from enslavement. And on the other end of the extreme, there's an entire class of people of color who experienced so much inequality and racism until today as a result of that legacy of enslavement. So let's start the conversation, my brother. What's your view? To what extent how did Britain's involvement in this illegal movement of millions of people around the world and enslavement on those plantations impact the people and also impact Britain itself? Let's start that conversation.
Well, the impact on Britain was vast. The impact on Britain was vast because Britain was broke when they entered into engaging in kidnapping young people from Africa and trading in them in the Caribbean. And just for explanation for people, I don't call it the Caribbean when we're cannibals. I call it the Afri-Bean because the dominant people in that area are people who are descended from Africa and the kidnapped people. So whenever you hear me say the Afri-Bean, I'm talking about the place where all the various islands are that we occupied in the Afri-Bean Sea. It was significant, very, very significant, because England was broke at the time. They owed money to France, Spain. They had a lot of civil war. All that type of stuff was going on. They kill off one of them king, and I was sitting there. So they were going through a lot of stuff. And incidentally, it was initiated by Elizabeth I. She engaged John Hawkins and in I think in Coswell. What the guy's name? His name will come to me. Anyway, he went on an expedition to the west coast of Africa and bought some Africans from the Spanish and from the Portuguese and went and sold it to the Spanish, made a ton of money, came back, and she was so bowled over by the money made, she commissioned him to engage in going and kidnapping African people. And I don't want people to understand this. Yeah? You know, traveling is a lesson in itself. And if you have time, you must travel and go and see those dungeons. Because contrary to belief, people think that the majority of people that was kidnapped out of Africa were big people, like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds. And that's not true. Most of the people that was kidnapped were children. And when I mean children, like between the ages of 10 to probably 18. And when you go to, you know, I visited Gore Island, I visited Cape Coast, I visited Elmina. And one of the things that strikes me is when you go to what they call the door of no return, it's such a small hole that you got to go. I can go through when we got it. You'd have to be starved, malnutrition, or a young child. And we know this because we can qualify these, especially those of us that live here in British Britain. You know, and one of the famous Africans that was, you know, a fighter for the emancipation and the end of the enslavement of Africans was a man called Oladio Equiano. He was around in the 17th century. And he has a book, you know, that you can go and buy. I think you still can get it, where he tells you how he was kidnapped when he was around about 10 years old and taken onto one of those dungeon ships and spent years traveling to various islands. And as a little boy, God knows what they did to him. And then he ended up in Britain, gained his freedom, and he became an avid fighter for the abolition of the enslavement and the kidnapping of our people. And there are various other little stories about young people that were kidnapped. And what we have to inner, around, circumference, radius, heptagon, triangle, parallelogram stuff is that the average mortality rate for an African that was kidnapped, taken to the African from the time they got onto the plantation was 7 years. Within 7 years, they was dead. And I want you to take a moment and pause and think about that. This is where the saying, the fittest of the fittest will survive. It took 3 months for them to sail from the west coast of Africa and to get, because what they did, they was sometimes the ship would go to London, yeah, or then they go to America, or then they go to the Caribbean, and you know that's why they call it the triangle trade. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's very significant because out of that now, Britain started to get wealthy. So the pirates engaged in it, you know, and it became a very great commodity. And everybody who was anybody was involved in it, in the aristocracy. You understand me? But even the so-called poorer class people got involved in it. Some of them left Britain and went to the Caribbean and they became overseers. And then they themselves became owners of Africans, engaging in that activity and became very wealthy. There was a guy called Thistle, and this man, he was a dirty nigger, but he actually wrote down how many times he raped African women. About 200 women, and I was children here. You know, I can't remember his first name, but it was Thistle. And you can go and Google it, and you know you know he told, you know, this is what he wrote and said. So when people want to come and speak to us and tell us that oh, we're dredging up the past and a lot of that ain't true, they wrote about it. They put them in penguin books because they never thought that we would be here today on Sister Shanice's show speaking about it. They did not even see that themselves, let alone the Africans that were enslaved. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it created, and out of that, because we don't have much time, out of the engaging in the enslavement of African people, it led to the Industrial Revolution for Britain, which Britain made a lot of money from. And we know the story of Henry Court went to Jamaica and discovered that they were Africans who had the ability to smelt old iron and turn it into cast and renew. You understand? And when he went to that plant, I think it was in Portland, the plantation was, and asked the man who owned it, how did he said, I don't know nothing about it. It's the slave them that's doing it. What they did, Britain ordered him to destroy that plantation, kidnap the Africans then, right, and destroy any remnants of it and bring everything back to England. And that is how England became the forerunners in the Industrial Revolution that took place, in the 1800s and 1900s. You understand? So it was significant for England. We speak about the wealth in terms of our soil, what's underneath the side that they steal, but the biggest wealth they stole was our minds. You understand? Because, when they were kidnapping African people, they were kidnapping dances. They were kidnapping people who knew about astrology, who knew about farming, who knew about irrigation, who knew about planting, who knew about the architecture, building, smelting metal, designing things. Why do you think when you go to the Afrobeard and you see those craftsmen, that's a technique that was brought from Africa here. You understand? And they still have it in their DNA. You understand? We know that most of the inventions that we use today that are more modernized now, because of the advancement in technology, we know that it's Africans that created it. And they stole the idea. So not only did they steal, they continue to steal the resources. The greatest resource they stole was the people. Because without that knowledge, without those great inventors like McCoy and then man, remember, when them say it ain't they didn't want to buy any invention unless it was it's called the real McCoy. You understand what I'm saying to you? None of those inventions would have happened. Louis Latimer and then Mandela. All of these different Sarah Boone, all of these great inventions that these people them invented would have never happened if they did not kidnap Africans from Africa. It probably would have happened in Africa, but it sure as hell wouldn't have happened in the West. And so, yes, that is a significant impact. The United States of America that you see today is because of the enslavement of African people, because they still got the brains of our people. Most of the things that they use, these laser-guided missiles, laser-guided drones, the technology for that was invented by an African from the area they call Ghana, a man called Mensa. He created that laser-guiding system that they use now on all their different things to blow up people and all them stuff, like what they did with Iran the other day and all them something there. Apollo 13 wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for those 3 African women. Yeah, superior mathematician. And I mean, the list is long. People could go and Google it and see all of it. You understand? And a lot of these inventions that were invented in our enslavement was because we needed to make life easier for ourselves. So we invented the lift. We invented the lift, because we had to carry the bag them up and the wall or something there. Some man said, boy, I got to invent something to make that something easier. Because we were the ones who was doing the work, so we needed to make it easy. They weren't interested in that because they had us to do it. And a lot of these things are the spotlights. You understand me? Open heart surgery, blood transfusion, brain something and all is sitting there. So yes, my impress, it was significant. And it had a significant impact until today.
Absolutely agree with you on everything that you've said there, Prophet. You know, on the one hand, you know, the creativity, the genius, you know, and it's that is in our genes and in our DNA that we've inherited from our ancestors, you know, that we continue to have today. But, you know, to what extent, you know, I'd like to hear your comments on your thoughts on to what extent are the inequalities of today and the oppression that we as Africans are facing in the world today is inhibiting our growth and our development as nations. And to what extent do you feel that, you know, that has its legacy in our enslavement as well?
You know, if you had asked me that question probably 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I'd have answered it differently. But the key word is to inhibit, to prevent us from succeeding and advancing. Don't care what they do, they can't stop it. There's a man called Maxwell Chikimoso. This man created a machine that can draw electricity from the atmosphere. You don't have to plug it in or nothing. Yeah? You can plug your something in a steam machine and generate electricity. He created a car, an electric car, that do not need recharging. Think about that for a moment. An electric car that don't need recharging. A television that you don't have to plug in, you don't have to plug it in on a wall. Nobody don't know where him there now. Well, in the end of America, them try to kill him several times, try poison him. The man in Bredry. But in Bredry, he have no food and dead. In go back to Zimbabwe. We got another brother in the United States of America, an ex-soldier brother. Can't remember female name. That brother built a machine that can draw pure water, better than water will come out of tap and all and something there. Yeah, in pH, out of the atmosphere, and was giving it away to people for free. The mysterious damaging machine. Let me move again. There was a brother in Jamaica created a mechanism that you can put in any car and make the car run on water. When they know. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, when I look at those greatness of our people, they can't inhibit us. What they can do, yeah, is slow us down. That's what they're doing. But we have a million of them man there and woman there in Africa. That's ever invented. Because it's in our DNA. We are the first people on planet Earth to map the stars, create a calendar, lunar and solar. We are the first to do anything that they define as civilized. So yes, they can kill us, they can kidnap us, they can destabilize our economies. But what they cannot do is destroy our creativity. Everybody wants to be we. We are the trendsetter. And I just wanted to quote something you said earlier, Sister Shanice, with the Black Panther movement. It wasn't crack they bought. At that time, it was heroin and cocaine. Crack was what they bought in the 80s. Yeah, it was heroin and cocaine. But the biggest thing that destroyed a lot of those African movements wasn't even the drugs. It was the people that collaborated with our enemies, the treasonous Africans. And that is what's happening in Africa today. That's what's happening with the Maasai people. These are treasonous people. These are people that probably would engage in selling us. You understand? Because they worship the West. And they don't realize, they themselves don't know their story. They themselves don't know their own history. Because if they did, they would not worship them. You understand? The European does what the European have to do for their own survival. We can't concentrate on them now. We have to concentrate on what we need to do for our survival.
Absolutely.
You know, I often speak about creating weapons of mass defense. I know that there's Africans in Africa, male and female, that has the ability to go into physics and quantum science to create a mechanism to destabilize all of them weaponry. So that's what keeps the European on top of everybody else. It's not their ability to do e-commerce. We can outshine them in all of that. In fact, we outshine everybody in every field.
Yes.
Even in wickedness when we're ready. We outshine them. You understand? But what we don't outshine them on is the ability to kill. That is their greatest forte. They are the masters of murder, pillage, and rape. And all of their brain focus on making weapons to kill other people. Their brain ain't focused on procuring life. Their brain, if you make an invention that is something that will enhance humanity, they want to see how they can use it to kill people. There's nothing wrong with nuclear fusion because it can generate electricity. If you do it correctly, it's clean energy. You understand? But they use it for recklessness, to murder people. Why would you want to have 4,000 and odd nuclear weapons? The United States of America have over 4,000 and odd nuclear warheads. Only Russia has more than that. Russia has over 5,000. So between Russia and the United States of America, they have nearly 10,000 nuclear warheads. Enough warhead, yeah, to make the planet hard to live in. What kind of mentality is that? It's madness. But they don't want nobody else to have it. Because what do they call it? Nuclear deterrent. What are they to dictate to anybody that they should not have nuclear capabilities? Because if you go by logic and you just go by research and take an analytical view on who may use it, the United States of America shouldn't have none.
Right.
Because they're the only ones that has used an atomic weapon on another nation of people. And they didn't just drop one, they dropped two. The French went under the Pacific and was testing their one, destroyed the marine life, probably create some different kind of species underneath there, with this weapon nuclear or something. The British used it in when there was control in Australia against the indigenous African people in Australia. They also used it against their own soldiers to see if it worked. This is the mentality of these people. They're lunatics, psychopaths. So yes, sis, we have the ability to create a mechanism that we just press that button and their planes fall out of the sky. Their warships stop in the middle of the sea. Their nuclear submarines sink without firing one weapon to blow up nobody. I know that in Africa, those scientists exist, and if they don't, they're coming. And we have to be careful, because every time we have a young person, and it's always young people, that, and the story of Chikumbusu, you know, he left school at 13. He's self-taught. You understand what I'm saying to you? Couldn't get a patent for his invention. According to them, he defies the laws of physics, or their laws of physics, or whatever the case may be. Because they want to steal his invention. Because who's going to make money out of a car that you don't need to recharge? He was even modernizing the mechanism so that you can put it in a mobile phone. You'll never have to charge a mobile phone again. And recently, in Africa, a young man created a mobile phone that can use any network for free. You don't need a SIM card. You just dial the number, you dial anywhere you want in other world. It's for free. Them can't stop it. They can only delay it, but them can't stop it. You the truth say, it ain't no stopping us now, because we're deep on the move. You understand what I'm saying? So all I have to do is just do our little piece to contribute to our future descendants. And hopefully this video will be around and they will see what we were speaking about, because the time's going to see, because see, the West is very arrogant. They believe that the status quo is going to be like this forever. And history shows you every great empire falls. It's their destiny. They know it. They just are trying to fool we. And when the time comes, and I've said this, you know, reparations is not something somebody's going to give to you. Reparations is something you're going to take. Because he's so arrogant in his ability to kill that he don't think he has to negotiate with you. And everything, all these shows that you've been doing over the years, Sista Shanice, and all our other brothers and sisters over the internet, all our elders and our ancestors who wrote books to warn them, and all of these different radio shows where we've had these different conversations, our descendants will have them as evidence. And they will say, listen, our people was telling you, but you didn't want to listen. Because you didn't think, as I was saying at the Afrobean, you didn't think you're big about it. I have no doubts about it. None at all. I just can't tell you when. But we can tell you it won't happen. The minute African people globally wake up, boom, it's done for everybody. Because we're everywhere. We're in Asia, we're in Australasia, we're in the Samoa Islands, yeah, we're in the Americas, yeah, we know what them call the Middle East, we know Europe, hell, we even there at the moon. We're there everywhere. But what we're doing, we're not clocked into each other yet. But the day that happened, and I see it happening in Africa. Forget about them people who's in power now. It's not them if you watch. Watch you, them where I come. Because they know now. They didn't know before, you see. But they know now. And you can only delay the inevitable. You understand? We're not hypnotized. If you look, you know, most of them old people, them follow this whole Christianity and Islam business. And even if the youth them grow up in it, you know, them not really penny that. I'm gonna tell you something happened to me Sunday after me finish my radio show. I mean, did I go little to buy some stuff for my granddaughter? And there was these African women, and they had this big booklet, magazine that they were giving out. And they were giving me a magazine, and I said to them, I will give you one if you take one of mine. And they said, yeah, okay. So I went back to my car and I took out the flyer. Yeah. Right. I took out the first of Messiah flyer. Yeah. And I gave it to them. And Paul Grant can verify this because I was on the phone speaking to him. I gave them the flyer. They gave me the pamphlet. And the minute they look on the flyer, they say, oh, we're coming to this. We're coming to this. Because, yeah, we have Ibrahim Shure in the middle. This is the first of Messiah March, this cycle, 1st of August. We'll be bigging up Ibrahim Shure, Patrice Lumumba, obviously His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey, His Imperial Majesty, Frantz Fanon, yeah, Omowale El Malek Shabazz, and Sister Zebi. But when they saw Ibrahim Shure's thing, them just said them a come. Them start talking to me about Jesus. They start talking about him. I kid you not. They went on even further and said, brother, can we get some more flyers so we can give them out? And then they started to talk about this young man and how that we need to take back Africa. They were some of the most militant Christians I ever met. Yes. This is the effect that this young man has had on the African world. Not Africa, you know, the African world. But not just in Tichi and Assimi, the Malian and Niger president. I'm telling you, yeah, times is changing. And I'm speaking to all the military generals in the different African armies. It's down to you, you know. It's down to you. You are helping the enemy destroy your motherland. You have the ability to turn your back on them. And even if them have anything upon you, so what? So what? How many times have they betrayed what they said they were going to do? This is why the Native American says they speak with forked tongue. You have the opportunity to readdress what you have done because you will meet your ancestors. There is no doubt about that. You not will live forever. None of we are. And you need to have a story to tell them. It's not too late to defend the honor of the people. While your people are suffering just because you're getting some paper for uranium, paper for copper, iron, cobalt, coltan, lithium, titanium, and all the other precious metals that the world needs. They might give you paper. Don't you see the madness? So he gives you a suitcase full of paper. Can you say money? If you light a fire, it could be 400 million. Once that burn up, it done. But your copper won't burn up and done. Your iron won't burn up and done. Your uranium, plutonium, titanium, lithium, cobalt, coltan, zinc, aluminium. And we're not even talking about the precious metals and the precious stones. You will still have them, but the money gone up. They're giving you paper because you bought into their system. How is it that countries that don't have no gold mine have more gold in their reserve than you that have gold underneath your feet? This is what reparations is about. It's about reigniting our memory. It's about repair. When we talk about repairs, you know, we're not on the money we are talking about, you know. See, that's compensation. That's about 1% of what reparations is. Because if they give us $1 trillion, $6 trillion, 200 trillion, whose banks with those figures go into? Because it's figures. And in fact, they're not giving money now. They might press a key and I give you a digit. They can erase that digit tomorrow. But you can't erase a goat, a cow, corn, yam, banana, chocho, okra. You can't erase pepper, fufu. You can't erase coal, uranium, and all the other naturals. You can't erase them by the touch of a button unless you drop a bomb on them. You see, we've got to change the paradigm of how we view wealth. So you run around and you buy all these things that's got their names on it. Gucci. And all them other idiots something there. And as much as I don't check for the Diddy boy, what made him great was his name. The minute he put his name to that drink, the people themselves, the drink them just start selling. We are the commodity. We're still the commodity. We have got the creative nature. We're ever creating. We're ever evolving. Remember saying, no, we don't have no trace of Neanderthal in a fluid DNA. You know, did they? I didn't do the test, you know. All the other groups have got applied. When they test the African, there was no trace of it. So, you know, reparation is about rediscovering who we are, who we could have been, who we should have been, and who we can be, and who we will be. Okay. But more importantly, who we are. That's what the repair is about. Restitution. It is to restore who we were, restore who we should have been, restore who we will be, and to restore who we are. Non-repetition. That the reggae now happen again. The water will have to dead before that happen again. And we're not begging for it not happen again. We're telling them that ain't happening again, brother. Remember, we're everywhere. We're in their armies. All it takes, you know, is for that light bulb to switch on. And then that idiot general that went and said what he said about I'll apologize now. Shame. You know, so Trump get rid of him. But there's more of it. It's just for it to switch on. It's just for this to switch on. The minute it's switched on, it's over for them. We're in their French army. We're in their British army. Spanish, Portuguese, German, Dutch, United States. We're in all their armies. And they know it. I remember, Sista Shanice, you did a show and we were speaking about Punga Magafuli and, you know, may the ancestors guide his spirit and I hope he's with us, you know, watching over us. And I remember I said, I'm sending you a message, my brother. Be careful because your enemies are close and they might come for you. And what was he doing? All he was doing was just making things better for Tanzania and Tanzanians. That's all he was doing. He weren't looking to go and take over nobody's country. He weren't looking to make weapons of mass destruction. He was just trying to make the lives of his people better. But he was blowing up all those African leaders that weren't. They conspired. Forget the European, the white man. He does what he has to do. It's those that conspired against him. Namely the one who in power now, the girl. Because he was doing good. You understand? Whenever we seek to do good, it's raise the head. And every time an empire is about to fall, they get more and more aggressive because they're trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on to power to their dear life. But you cannot stop destiny. You can delay it, but you cannot stop. And it's our destiny to rise again. Well, I forgot you where I got you, you know. Because we flap up the shore. So where the wall will be eaten. But the time is coming. They never knew somebody like you was gonna appear and write 3 books about our people and their existence. You come in like say you're the new flipping him named the J.A. Rogers. When J.A. Rogers go on Europe and was showing where Africans were in Europe and European societies. But you gone deeper. And there's many of you out there. And younger people too. Them can't stop we. They cannot stop us. It is totally impossible. And I'm going to tell you something too. If all the African them on the planet get eliminated, you know, Earth done. Earth done. Them can't survive without we. Them need we. Them need we. Every so often them need we injecting after them DNA pool. After them dead are rickets and all kind of stuff. Them need we. That's why they're harvesting our bodies. You understand? African people, wherever you, I know you're suffering in Africa. And it's easy for me to even say this because I'm not feeling your pain. But I'm telling you, stick it out. Because Africa is the place to be. Just get rid of them despot leaders who keeps you in continuous wars. Stop, and I don't like using this word, but I'm going to use it because I know you know what I mean. Stop the tribalism. Stop it. Because it seems as if you not can forgive people who don't look like you, who's committed the most heinous atrocities to you. But people that look like you will do you something, you can't forgive them. We've been through a lot. But when all is said and done, all we have is us. We not nobody else. And you see, we are not vengeful like against other groups to go and wipe them out. We're not on that. We are children of the sun. So I want whoever want me for one. And the sun said, heat up more upon them. You understand me? For the sun to burn them in the reggae. They pollute the planet. They put holes in the ozone layer. They pollute the oceans, the seas, and the rivers. Even here in Britain, these water companies spewing out dirty water to the people and charging us extraordinary amounts of money for what they call water rates, while giving us dirty water. This is their mentality. This is what they do. I always say, if you want to understand why they did what they did to us, look at what they were doing to each other first. Because if you can abuse your own children, use anybody else's children. Don't mean nothing. Every day, Israel drop bomb on the Palestinians. Every single day, I kill people. Yeah, they today 20, 30, 40, 100 dead. Yeah, you kill 100 people to get one person. You kill babies, pregnant women, and children to get one person, and that's okay. But when one of them is dead, it's big news. Trump turned the other day and I said, Putin talked so nice with you on the phone in the day, and then at night he dropped bombs on people. So why you never said that about Netanyahu? I know the same thing in you. Them bombs Syria the other day. They are just the other arm of the United States. You understand? But the day is gonna come when the bombs come dropping in your cities, and then you're gonna know what it's like. Sooner or later, if you don't behave yourself, that's what's gonna happen. You're big about now because you can fight wars in other people's land. You're not at war with nobody, you're waging war. When you're at war with somebody, that means they have the ability to do to you what you have to do to them. But when you're waging war on somebody, that means you've gone into their land. They don't have the weaponry that you have to counteract you. So they must go on the guerrilla warfare. You go down in we got these trees in the street that Gadame and the other woman there in a Congo, sign away the wealth of those yet to come to the United States of America. So you could not, and this shows you that ECOWAS is a waste of time. The African Union, waste of time. You're not respected because you, Africans, who claim you're leaders, couldn't stop the war in Congo. You can't stop the war in Sudan. But here comes gingerbread man and in White House. Bring you come at the White House. Patronizing. Look, that was like a scene out of Uncle Tom. Cabin. You're going up in the White House, the Maasai house. Look at them. They're so glad to be in the White House. The White House that Africans built. Africans built the White House. And all of them stuff where you sit down in a Washington is Africans then built it. In fact, they designed it. They were the architects. Because then they don't. No, gingerbread man, you're happy to sit in the White House that Africans built. You understand? And you have to wait for gingerbread man to come and tell you two set of black people, stop the fighting. Where you go? You give the whole of the Congo resources. Just like what they did at the Berlin Conference of November 1884 to February 1885, where the Europeans got together and carved Africa up amongst themselves and gave the Congo, the area that they call the Congo, to Leopold II, the King of Portugal, Belgium. It's just a modernized version of what's happening. Because Uno couldn't sit down and reason. And what the problem is because they don't even know the story. See, you're fighting for territory that was created by somebody else. But those boundaries didn't exist when you lot was running things. Those boundaries became what they are now after their conference. That's how them boundaries come. And so now you're fighting over boundaries that they created. But if you was sensible, and if you had thought, you got houses that live in what they call Nigeria, but you have houses that live in Togo, and parts of Niger, and Mali. So all them regions are there. You got different groups of Africans that live in different, like the Maasai. The Maasai live in Tanzania and they live in Kenya. But the Tanzania had their territory long before the Europeans came. You understand? And so you're fighting for borders that they created. And you're still all up in it. It's just ludicrous. You have to get rid of them border there. Except for the one with the Arab boy them there. Because you have to deal with them boy there soon. But you got to get rid of them borders. How is it they can come in our land, do all what they do to us? We fight to get some supposed freedom and independence. And then they want to set up their own little enclave where we can't go. In a free land. Down in South Africa there. Azania. If I told you there was places in Zimbabwe where black people can't go, you'd have to say, lie me out there. But it did there. It did in Jamaica. In Barbados. It did there. We just go on like it don't be there. So non-repetition. Reparations about rehabilitation, restitution. We have to restore ourselves. We have to rehabilitate ourselves. So when people want to come and tell us that on the first of Mother, oh, we're not big, then it's not about that. That shows you where your mind is at. You have to come on that gathering to get the vibe. There's a vibe when we're all together on something that is good and necessary. I cannot explain to you the vibe. You have to come get it. We make sure that we time ourselves. So we stop on Westminster Bridge just before 3 p.m. to have a 3-minute silence to honor our ancestors. And I'm not just talking about ancestors that was enslaved or in antiquity. I'm talking about every one of your African ancestral lineage, your personal African ancestral lineage. We honor them on the bridge where the river flows underneath it, Oshun. We give thanks unto their struggles. We give hands unto the determination, devotion, desire, dedication, and the discipline to survive in the enemy's camp and to give us a little bit of that Africa that they kept, that they didn't think they were giving us. Many of us grow in the different households from the different Caribbean islands, from the different countries or terrains in Africa, from the different areas in Europe that we grow. And all of our parents would give us sayings. If you want anything good, your nose have to run. What sweet nanny goat have to run them belly. And many other sayings that they were giving us. But that was the ancestral voices, the African memory, that they themselves didn't realize it was African memory. But they gave it to us anyway. When they would send us to go and pay the partner. When my mom used to make food for a woman called Mrs. Cooper. I was about 6 years old. Take this up to Mrs. Cooper. We live at Seneca Road, she live at Sunny Road. And I carried a bowl of food for this old woman. They were teaching us Ubuntu. I am because we are. And because we are, therefore I am.
I see. Prophet, wow, let me just interject there briefly, bring in our audience.
Exist.
Is that okay with you?
Because you exist. And because you exist, I exist, we exist. Ashe.
Ashe.
Reparations.
Wow, that was powerful, Prophet. You know, I was here just nodding all the way through because I just had to agree with everything you were saying there. I didn't even want to interrupt. You know, I had 101 questions to ask you. I think I asked you one. And, you know, you took us on a journey. Oh, what a powerful and insightful and knowledgeable journey that was as well. I'm going to, you know, with all respect to the audience, bring them in now. Let's go over and take some of the comments, and you can jump in, you know, and respond to any one of them that you want. So, rising up, Lumqua, who's watching from Port Antonio in Jamaica. So we have Jamaica in the house. Rise up, rise up. This is where Green Man versus Orange Man colonized parties. So we've got General Mosquito in the house, Hotep's S.A. Hottie in the house as well. The creator is finally dealing with them. I think that's the sun hotting up. Yes, you know. Sheriff S. Kemi Bradenock is a very apt name. Bad. She's wicked. Apparently her father was a political activist. He must be turning in his grave, she says. Rise Up Dawn in the house as well, sending us greetings from Bermuda. We've got Bermuda in the house. Yes, that's the first name we was looking for, Glenda. Thomas Thistlewood. He's the one that had the diary.
That's Thomas Thistlewood, yeah.
Yes, the diary of the wickedness and the nastiness and the evil that he was doing on a day-to-day basis to his poor Africans. I'm surprised they never plan on. Anyway, don't make me start talking now. Coming on, when he would have do that time there. Right, the power of consent says, so how do we get reparations as marching don't work? Hold that. I want you to come back to that one. Clear thinking with Brother Delani. Rise up. Yes, Thistlewood was a wicked demon. Good to know you're in the house, beloved. Brother Delani's in his house. Check out his YouTube channel as well, Clear Thinking. He does regular podcasts, and yeah, he leaves you with food for thought. Rise up, Sheriff Est as well. Daniel Hell invented open heart surgery. Yes. Oh, we've got Dr. Clyde Winters in the house. Yes, Dr. Clyde Winters, my tutor, my Afrocentric research tutor who inspired me to write. He says, so true. We made many inventions because we wanted to make our labor easier. Yes, agreeing with you there, Prophet Muduty. Sheriff S rising up, Dr. Clyde, yes, with his Afrocentric history site. Please do visit his site as well. He has well over 400 videos all about our African history. And as Prophet was saying, we need to remember who we are, the greatness of who we are. You know, we are the innovators, we are the creators, we are the inventors. We are the creators that they want to try and imitate. Know who you are. Check out Dr. Clyde Winters' website channel, YouTube channel. He's got history on our history wherever we are in the world, history all over the world, Asia, Europe, America, everywhere. Tuta Kamoja. Once upon a time, they said enslavement would never come to an end, but it did through blood, sweat, and tears. Rise up our ancestors every time for the blood that they shed, the tears that they shed, the sweat that they shed. We are the ones who ended that wicked
the blood that they shed.
And the blood that we ended enslavement, not them. Rise up, rise up. Thank you. But he says, I'm here to gain knowledge that you share with us each strong. Rise up, Dr. Winters. Love and enough. What if I respect you? We got the Jamaica drum crow in at the halls. Rise up, Jamaica drum crow. Been a little while. Good to have you in the house. Tutupanoka, yes. This country took the best out of them. Now you see the elders looking so mashed up with bad hips and bad back, nothing to show for all the hard work and toil, working in their hospitals, etc. My dear, took up Pomocha, by the time them finish with our elders, them come out with the windrush thing, I want to send them back. Them come here when them young, them spend a whole lifetime working in this country. Remember when they reach here, yeah, it was rubble. It was a war-torn, rubbled site. You see like how you see Palestine right now? After them done bumped up, I saw England did look. And I saw our young people come and find it. And it's them walk and build up this place and broke up them back and broke up them hip. And then well done now, when them forget the little pension, them come out with something for try send them back to Jamaica. They're wicked, or to wherever they come from. Wicked set of people. Enough talking going on in the house. Yes, the tragedy of white injustice by Marcus Messiah Garvey. They have a disease mindset. Then cream always rise to the top. Carol, rise up. What did that flyer show? They couldn't see the flyer about reparations, but please jump in 15 minutes from the top of the hour. Remind people of the public meeting event that's coming up in London, please. And also remind people about the 1st of Messiah, and then I'll come back to some more of the comments.
The public meeting is on Saturday the 19th. It will be in Brixton Oval, now known as Brixton Windrush Square, and it will be from midday onwards. It's there for us to connect with our people, to advise them what we'll be doing on the day, and ask them their advice as well. You know, how would they want the day to happen, and give them more information about what reparation is and how they can get involved in the various reparation organizations and the part that they can play. Because you see, people's always looking for people to do the work, but some of us tired, and we need your assistance. You understand what I'm saying to you? And so come down on the day, and we will communicate with you. Also, the importance of the 1st of Messiah, it's poetic, is that on the 1st of Messiah, August 1920, the Universal African Improvement Association, otherwise known as UNIA, that were constructed by the Garveys, you know, Amy Ashford, Marcus, and you know, images, had their first international UNI conference in Harlem. And over 20,000 people attended. Now, think about this, in the 1920s. Wow. They had African dignitaries from around the world. Princes, kings, viceroys, scientists, elders from all over the African world. Remember, you know, he had the largest single membership organization in the history of organizations. He had over 7 million signed members worldwide in virtually every country, every continent. So that's what's significant about that day. It also coincides with what they call the Emancipation Day in the Afrobeat that is celebrated on the 1st of Messiah, because it was the first of Messiah that slavery ended, supposedly. So it has a significance. You understand, my people? And we must hold on to that spirit. It's important that you attend, because we're looking to make that day an international day for African people, where we remember and we do business only with African people. That day, because we dare not forget those that made serious sacrifices for us. Because we're going to meet them when we transition. You're going dead a lot longer than you're going to be alive.
That's true. Rise up, Prophet. Yes. All right. So put those dates in your diary, family. This coming Saturday, 20th of July, Windrush Square. We want to see you there. Everybody has a role to play. You've all got your skills and talent.
I want to, may I address the person who said, you don't get nothing from marching?
Ah. Go ahead. Yes, please do.
You know, when the police arrested one of the members of the Nation of Islam, and you see in the Malcolm X movie, and he wrote about it in his autobiography, they marched to the police station and they demanded to see their brother. And there was thousands of them marching. See, when we march and they see us, they get jittery. Anything you do, you have to march. You march got work. Whether you march in your car, or your bike, or you march on tube, or bus, or you walk, or you run, you're marching. We populated this world by marching. We march out of Africa, up in the Himalayas, in the Indus Valley, in Europe, Australasia. We march. You march to the school to go pick up your children then. You understand? This is not just about us marching to Parliament. There's symbolisms behind it. It's us coming together, showing Umoja, unity. And the greatest thing is Africans from everywhere. We're going to have our brothers from Burkina Faso there, giving us a solidarity message in honor of our brother Ibrahim Traoré. We're going to have Africans from everywhere, Kenya. You understand? This is about Tanzania. you know, this is about us as African people globally showing you moja. So it ain't just about marching. If you don't want to come, Tanda, your yard. Tanda, you know, for come. But it's the people that make statements like that, they benefit from the people them that march. When Martin Luther King did his march, when the Muslim let the people them on the bus, what them do? They march that work and never take the bus them. What them have to do? Them have to let them in. So don't talk about marching, don't do nothing. It's not about that. It's about coming. Some of it, a lot of people come to a Maasai Day and they stay back at the square until we come back. That's fine also. But we have to make them know that we're still here because there's people working on our behalf for reparatory justice that you don't even know. And those people will they will look and they will take notice when they see that you have a command of your community. So numbers matter.
Absolutely.
Numbers matter. Just like signing a petition, numbers matter. And we do that. Not because we even believe them are going to give you anything. It's agitation. We have a right in their country to do it. You understand? So we do it. Just like you have a right to go work. You go work. Just like you have a right to collect universal, what do you call it? There's something there. No fan will get it. Because you have a right. So you do it until you can do different. I hope that answers that statement. Maha
Maha thank you so much. Rise up, Sister Sonia in the house who says yes, yes to marching shows our strength and our unity and power. Yes, it does. And you know what you said there resonates with me because it's not just about the marching, it's more than that. Yeah, it's the emojis you're saying, it's us coming together. There's something powerful where we come together as a people, you know, when we come together in that spirit of oneness, you know, or when we're all in, you know, where we've got that like-minded agenda issue that we're all in synchronization over. That's why, you know, the Christian world go to church on a Sunday and the Muslims go to their temples or wherever they go to their mosques, you know, to pray, because there's something powerful when we come together as a people and we synchronize our mind on one agenda, on one issue. I just want to...
Sister Shanice, hold on, Sister Shanice. It's so powerful. You left Africa for come back feet.
See there, come here for catch some of that spirit there, you know, because there's also something spiritual about that day. Right. If you experience under the tunnel, when we do the chanting and the drumming, if you experience, you know, after the 3-minute silence, if you experience, you know, the whole journey, you know, it's like our ancestors are walking with us. There's
and that 3-minute silence, you know, that 3-minute silence is one of the most powerful things that you can experience.
Really,
because you know what happens? We do it on the bridge. And what happens is even the tourists then, just because we don't have to tell them to shut up, they just go quiet.
We become the tourist attraction to the tourists on the whole journey. Families got to experience it. It really is powerful. Thank you, Sheikh Meg, for that correction there. The date on Saturday is the 19th of July. I said the 20th. It's the 19th of July from 12 noon through to 8 p.m. at Pioneer Square. We've renamed Windrush Square to Pioneer Square because our parents, when they came, were pioneers. And,
can I address that, Sister Shanice? You know, I think we need to add a caveat to that pioneer because it could be any pioneers. Yeah, and I'm putting
These
forward.
Afrobean pioneers.
Well, whatever it is, but I think that we should call them, yeah, yeah, the Afrobean or the
Afrobean
African pioneers. No, the
pioneers in
African pioneers, but
honor.
they were Africans from the Afrobean, and they
Afrobean.
were Africans from the continent. You
Uh-huh.
understand? So we can call it the African pioneers.
Pioneers Square in Brixton there. So
Yeah.
that's where the public meeting is going to be. It would be absolutely wonderful to meet you, our beautiful audience, at the square this coming Saturday. I'll be there. I'll even bring some of my books with me. If you haven't already got it, it's available on Amazon and it's available direct from myself as well. We are 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Lionel, rise yourself up. He says reparations is a must. I don't know how these Israeli people can walk street with no remorse. Brother Kwame Osse is in the house. He reminds us we paid through our taxes compensation to the people like the royal family until 2015. We didn't even get onto that. You know, I wanted to talk about the AU because the Ghana president has recently been elected to be the chairperson on the issue of reparations on behalf of the AU. I wanted to talk about the All-Party People's Parliamentary Committee. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. We need to look at, you know, what we consider,
We can
what
do
is
that again,
happening
sis.
there. So are you available next strong?
I have to check my
Part
diary
two.
first.
All right, but check your diary and let us know because we
Yeah,
need a
I'll
part
let you
two.
know.
We need a part two on this. So hold that, family. We're going to come back. There's so much that we need to talk about in terms of reparation. And I want us to look at the all-party parliamentary committee as well.
Yeah.
They had a conference. They had a conference last year, this UK reparations conference. And I want to know what the outcomes has been since then. So this all-party parliamentary group is made up of MPs across all of the political parties. You know, is this just a sitting shop or are they really doing some business? And so we want to have that conversation. We need to make sure that you know, we're keeping an eye on what's going on because, as Prophet was pointing out to us, there are various facets to this issue of reparations. It is not just about compensation, far from it, and we need to make sure that we are on top of everything. So, family, we've got to leave it there for now. But it's been absolutely awesome hearing from our brother Nana Prophet. I didn't get a chance to interview him. We asking one question.
Well, you know what, Sister Shanice? It shows how great a question it was.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful job. That's why I'm going to have a part two.
If people want to catch me,
Yes.
I'll be on Galaxy on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then on Tuesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You know, doing something similar. You know, and Sister Shani, she calls in from time to time as you know, she graces me with questions and
I have to restrain myself because, like you, when we come in, we can't talk to, so you know.
I want to give thanks to you, Sister Shanice, for giving me the space to promote reparations and things like that. And
No,
congratulations on
it's
your
a
book.
must.
And
Thank
congratulations
you.
on your book. And may the ancestors continue to guide, protect, and watch over you. May no harm come before you. May you be protected from the head of your head to the heel of your foot, from the back of your body to the front, from your side and from all of your auras. May greatness and prosperity be bestowed upon you. Ashe, Ashe.
Seed with the covering of our ancestors.
Sila.
May our ancestors cover you as you go to. And may our ancestors cover everyone in the audience, each and every one of you. We thank you for participating in our show this evening. Please do share this important message about reparations and why it's important to us as a people. More strength, more voodoo power, all being well. I'll try and twist Prophet arm so that he come back next strong. All right? All right. This is the season for reparations, and that we have to talk about. Yeah? I'm
That we have to
try
talk.
grab Prophet Delani as well. One love, family.
Yeah.
Sista
Okay.
Shanice, Prophet Muduty, out of here for now. Bye for